Okay, so now the breakup. Now, how can the breakup happen? Why would it happen? You know what I mean? There's a lot of different reasons. Now, let's say you're going along in your relationship. Like I say, when you first starts out, it is going to be bliss. In fact, being in this relationship is kind of the ultimate distraction. Okay, just like I'm talking about with school, because once you get into this relationship, you probably will not be getting into your schoolwork like you're supposed to. You're probably not going to be doing things around the house that you're supposed to be doing. And you probably will not hang out with the crowd that you've been hanging out with as much because you're going to be in love. So once you get into this relationship and you've been in it for a while, like I say, initially it's like a rocket ship, and then you're just goofy in love. And then it kind of cruises along, and you're going along, and you know, you're still in love, you're still hanging out, you're still going out to the movies or whatever it is that you're doing. But then, you know, one day you might say to her, or she might say to you, and because you've been in the relationship for a while and you think you know each other, hey, why are you doing that? Or she might say to you, what are you doing that for? What's this? What are you doing? Say, well, this is what I do. This is me. This is what I do. You know, what's the big deal? Well, I don't like it. You know, and or you might say that to her. You know, something she might be doing, and because neither one of you have been, let's say, if neither one of you have ever been in a relationship before, or you don't understand what being in a relationship is, the give and the take, and overlooking things, your only defense for a situation like this is to say, oh, well, maybe we shouldn't go out. And, you know, the other one will say, oh, yeah, maybe we shouldn't. All right, well, fine. And you break up, okay? Now, that's probably the easiest way, or the safest, or the nicest way to break up. Now, you probably still both like each other, but because you're doing some little stupid thing that the other one doesn't like, you know, you don't want to deal with it anymore, and that might not be the real reason for breaking up, but hey, it's a point that you can do that, you know what I mean? And there's probably a number of ways that you can break up. There are really horrible ways, you know, you might catch her, or she might catch you cheating on her or something like that, and then that's tough. Another way that it could happen, let me just do it this way, is let's say there's two other ways, and it works both ways. She could come up to you, and let's say you're going along in the relationship, and as far as you know, everything is going okay. Hey, you know, I love her, I still like her. But she comes up to you and she gives you one of the classic breakup lines of, hey, you know, I think we should go back to just being friends. Or, hey, I don't deserve a guy like you. You're too good. You're too nice. Or maybe she'll say, maybe we should see other people. You know, any one of these breakup lines are really telling you that, hey, I don't love you anymore. Get away from me. In so many words, that's what they're saying. They're being nice. And in fact, if your girlfriend comes up to you like that, believe it or not, she's being pretty nice. I mean, she could also just start hanging around with another guy and then just really shove it in your face, okay? But even doing it this way is going to feel horrible, because this is the girl that you've been holding hands with, spending a lot of time with, hugging and kissing and doing whatever else you've been doing, and you've had that really close relationship. Now she's telling you, hey, we're not doing that anymore. That's not us anymore. Okay, and that's going to be the ultimate, let's say if you're texting, that's going to be the ultimate WTF, you know what I'm saying? And what you have to realize is, just like I told you earlier, this relationship is not gonna last. So initially, where you're going to be, well, what do you mean? What do you mean you don't want to go out with me? I still love you. Why don't you love me? I still love you. You know, and as you think back, it's like, oh yeah, well, I guess you just didn't like me. You know, but when it first happens, you're going to really be hurt. Breaking up can be as bad as you losing someone, as someone passing away in your family. I mean, at your age, maybe you haven't experienced that. I'm sure maybe a few of you have. That's what breaking up can be like someone has died, if you were really, really in love with this person, okay? So once, if you get to, get the chance, if that should ever happen to you, initially you'll be, but you got to just step back and say, oh, okay, all right, fine. It won't be easy. It's never easy. Breaking up there's a song, breaking up is hard to do. It's a horrible thing. But you got to realize that, again, because of your age, where you're at in life, you're dating. You're not married, you're dating. You may have been faithful to each other and tried to stay with each other, but you're dating. You're not married. So you just have to step away, think about what has happened, because there are so many different reasons why people break up. Could be because you've said something, you've done something, you haven't reacted the right way to something that she's done. Could be your hygiene. Okay, I've talked about this in the health and hygiene video that I've had. Women like a clean guy. Okay, you can't be a dirty, scummy guy. You may be trying to, but maybe you're still not. You got to wear clean clothes. You got to take showers. It could be any one of a number of things. It could be that you're not doing anything wrong, and she has just seen some other guy who has a nicer car than you, who has a nicer car and money, who has a nicer car, money, and let's say is on the football team or the basketball team, has a better physique than you, is better looking than you, for any one of a number of reasons, and that is not your fault. It's not always that you're gonna wind up with someone who is perfect, or what they perceive as perfect, okay? And these things happen. So that's what you have to look, oh yeah, well maybe, yeah, he's got a nice car, and he's this, he's that, whatever. And you just have to walk away from it. Now when you walk away from it, you get back into your schoolwork, like I was telling you. You could do that. Doesn't mean you won't fall in love again, you know what I'm saying? You might still be around you're going to be around other girls, so the next time you can reevaluate what has happened here and apply that to your next relationship. Okay, breaking up like this, believe it or not, is a graduation. You have just been schooled in one of the lessons of love. Okay. Love is a great thing. Love is the best thing, okay? We all want to be loved. We all want to be in a relationship. But if that doesn't happen, okay, what you have to realize is that it's not the end of the world, okay? It may seem like it. It's going to seem like it, but it is not the end of the world. There is someone out there for you, okay? There is a girl that is looking for you. You might not find her for a while, but you might find her real soon. I would tell you to wait until after high school, maybe, or later on in high school. Okay, a better chance of you getting somebody and where you will be at that age, where something could actually happen that, yeah, maybe in your senior year, or your freshman year of college, yeah, you might meet someone who, sure, you might be with for the rest of your life. Here now, in these early years of school, high school, junior high, great to have a friend. You just need to be careful of being in a romantic love relationship, okay? And if you do get dumped, another thing here is you got to realize you do not plan any revenge, okay? Now that I'm telling you this, you should understand it when it happens, okay? If I hadn't told you this, and you had never heard this, and you got dumped, you would really feel desperate. You would really feel like you were betrayed. It's such a bad feeling. It's going to feel like I come up to you and sucker punch you in the stomach, and while you're bent over, I uppercut you, and then while you're up like this, I kick you in the balls, and you drop to the ground, and I'm pointing and laughing at you. Okay, that's what it's going to feel like, and you're going to feel like, this girl did this to me. She did this to me. She didn't do that to you. A relationship either happens and gets better, or a relationship doesn't work. That's what has happened. So you've got to realize that and just understand that, hey, there'll be another girl, and this is not the end of the world. If you watch the news, and I hope you watch the news, just so that you know what's happening around you, you will see from time to time an incident where there was a boyfriend, girlfriend. You see it probably more so with people who are married, where the relationship didn't work out, and the husband kills the wife and tries to get away with it, or he kills the wife and then kills himself. It's just a bad situation. Relationships are complicated just like that. But you will see it. You'll hear about it every once in a while. I think it just recently happened with a college kid. Met a girl. They got into a relationship. She must not have wanted to be in the relationship anymore, and he freaked out, killed her, and then tried to hide the body. They're going to find out who you are, and you're going to wind up going to jail for the rest of your life. It's not worth it. Believe me, there is a girl for you. Do not go off the deep end because someone has rejected your love. Okay? This is what you have absolutely got to understand. But this is going to be the end of another thing. The next thing I want to talk to you about is, how do you get through a breakup? How do you deal with a breakup? Okay? I'll get right back to you.